Good morning and welcome back to Ken's Little Acre. I'm out here in this hot weather today trying to get some of this stuff done this morning before it gets too hot, and I got to go in the house. About 3 years ago I had a heat stroke, so I don't get out in the real hot sun a lot, but I've got to get some of this micro greens out of the ground and put some lettuce back in. Before I do, I'm going to get behind the camera here and I'm going to show you my cucumbers and my squash down here. They're really growing. I'm eating squash. I'll be eating cucumbers in a few days. I sure do love these fresh vegetables, and I just love raising these gardens and keeping them to where I can get lots of good fruit from them. But let me show you my cucumbers and my squash this morning. I just picked my squash today. I got 12 squash off these vines this morning, and they are really doing good. I really like my squash and cucumbers. I like pickles and all that stuff. My cabbage I'm going to have to put up in sauerkraut about next week. The heads are getting good and solid, so I'll be putting them up in next week. I'm going to turn over here to these microgreens. It's got too big. I guess I put too many out the first time, but we like the microgreens, but we also like the lettuce, so I'm going to put out just plain lettuce this time. You see that row of microgreens right there? I've got them right in that row, and I've got onions over there too. Let me get on the microgreens good here. But they're good in salads and stuff when they're young, but they get a little bit tough when they get to that age. So I'm going to pull all them up and put them in a sack and take them over to the chickens and let the chickens have their feast. I've got my tiller up here now. I'm going to till this all up. Try to clean up around them strawberries a little bit too, so I can get this other lettuce planted. Oop, I forgot to turn the switch on. I had my wood piled here, and it sure has been rich soil where that wood and stuff leached out. Some of it rotted on it. It has produced weeds too. I heard somebody talking on television the other night where potato chips and all that in the bag's been going down less and less over the last couple of years. Well, I've noticed all these seeds that you buy now are more expensive, and they're also going down in the package year after year. This little package here has about enough to do a third of a row of lettuce in there. I used to be able to get a whole big row of lettuce out of a package of lettuce, but not anymore. Not anymore. I might get more than a third of a row. Yeah, I might. I still have to thin that when it comes up now, because this is iceberg lettuce. It'll make a head if you let it stay in the ground long enough. Usually we don't let it stay in the ground long enough to head. We're usually out here eating it pretty quick. Yeah, usually are. Yeah, day or two. I'll wet that up a little bit if I have to. Get a good rain on it. It ought to come right up. That soil's warm. There. That's got that. I'm going to try to get these weeds out of these strawberries and dig up around them a little bit, give them a little better shot. Last time I came out and there was strawberries on here, I ate them and I didn't know my wife had counted them, and she said, "You eat all the berries." I said, "Yeah, I did." But this time I'll take some in the house, let her have them. Fair play's good, I guess, if you're not starving to death. That one there is not doing too good. That's microgreens. How did this seed get over there? Must have blew over there. Yeah. Must have blew over there. Somebody asked why my wife doesn't get on the videos. She don't like to be on the videos. I don't know why, but I kind of enjoy having the company out here making this thing while I'm trying to work. But I do like cleaning my gardens out. As you can see, it's pretty good and clean. I'm going to turn the camera around here and we're going to look at the gardens again, show you how good they're growing. Like I said this morning, I've got so far I've got 8 nice squash out of there, and that's just the beginning. I'll have more squash than I can eat here in a few days. But the squash is doing wonderful. And the cucumbers, I've got 2 cucumbers out of there that's big enough to eat. Could have got bigger, but I see this stuff hanging and I see it in a salad or the squash in the skillet, and I just have to pick it even if it is just a little early. Sweet potatoes doing fabulous. They're starting to fill up the row. Before it's all over and done with, them sweet potatoes will be all the way over just about to the cucumbers and all the way down to that felt turf cloth that I've got down. So that's the sweet potatoes are doing wonderful. Here's the tomatoes and some more peppers here. Peppers on this end. And the tomatoes down there, if you can see them, I've got the bottom leaves all cut off from them, and got them all fixed up, ready to go. And here's some peaches and cream corn that I planted. I had some extra corn left, so I planted that peaches and cream corn, and everybody seems to like peaches and cream corn, so I planted it. I remembered The name of this corn over here that I planted, the first 3 rows I planted, it's incredible corn. And it gets to have a real nice big full ear. It's a bigger ear than the peaches and cream. And my wife likes to can the yellow corn. Right there's my cabbage. It's still growing like crazy, and it's just about ready to make sauerkraut of. My broccoli and cauliflower did no good this year. Little heads come up about 2 or 3 inches around in the cauliflower, and then it just started growing wild everywhere. It just started sticking up and turning yellow instead of nice and white. So I think I got 1 or 2 cauliflower heads this year that was pretty good. Here's some peppers I've got on this end. I've got most of my peppers on the other end. I've got my okra on the other end, and they're doing real good now, and they're blooming. I've got some peppers on them. I planted some more hot peppers the other day. I'm going to have way too many peppers. I guess I'll have to go farmer's market. But my tomatoes, I'm not real happy with my tomatoes this year. I don't know if it was the seed or what it was, but I'm not real happy with my tomatoes this year. They're just not looking as good as they used to about this time. And they're growing, and they've got tomatoes on them. But I'm just not real happy with my tomatoes over here. Now them over there in the other little garden, they're doing great, and I don't know what the difference is. Shouldn't be any difference. I use the same fertilizer, same everything underneath it. I put a little chicken manure underneath my tomatoes. Now I want you to look at these potatoes. These potato rows are 4 foot apart, if you can believe it. And I want you to look at them. They're in full bloom, and they sure are looking real good. When the blossoms go off a little bit, I will pull a vine just to see how big the potatoes are. When I pull that vine, I'll set up my camera, and it won't be no fudging. You'll see the potatoes firsthand when I pull up a vine. My wife says to grabble, but I tell you what, I do more damage to the vines grabbling than I do just pulling a vine and taking all the potatoes in the house and letting her use the little tiny ones in a pot of beans. Just put the potatoes and the beans together. Just wash them little taters off. Don't even try to peel them or take nothing off of them. Just wash them off a little bit and put them in the pot with some fresh green beans and a little bacon grease. And as far as I'm concerned, you got a meal fit for a king. They may not think so, but I do. I want you to see these beans here. They're already climbing almost, some of them are almost all the way to the top of the poles. And I've got some blooming. I'll be able to pick beans, probably a few off there, probably get a good mess off there about next week or the week after that. I've got some little beans on there already where the blossoms was. They're really doing good. This is the incredible corn. This is what they call incredible. That's what it's named. And it's a yellow ear. It looks like it's going to start tossing here pretty quick, but this corn does get a little higher than the average sweet corn. It gets up about 5-6 foot high, where the peaches and cream, why, it'll stay down about 4.5, 5 foot high. But it's doing real good. As soon as it grows up a little bit more, I'm going to have to go through there with my tiller again. I don't want to go through there and mess it all up and tear up anything. I want to keep everything going pretty good. This is the late beans. They're a little later than the others. They're probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks behind these others. That way it'll give me kind of a break in between picking maybe. But when they come in, I'll have to pick these things about every other day. And with putting them on the poles like this, I'll get anywhere from 8 to 10 pickings of beans off these beans. And I'd say we'll probably can better than 150 cans of beans this year out of them, out of all 4 rows. But this is the peaches and cream over here, and it's doing fantastic. The blackberries down back are doing real good. I'm real happy with the blackberries. I didn't think they'd do as good this year, but they're doing pretty good. I'm going to show you the meanest rooster in the world. He's a Rhode Island red rooster, and he's a nasty little snot. I mean, he is nasty. He is a nasty rooster. Aren't you nasty, Big Red? He knows he's nasty too. Yes, he does. He knows he's nasty. Yeah, Big Red, right there. Right there's Big Red. He's a nasty guy. He's letting on like he's eating greens, but he's really just wanting me to come over there and jump me. Here's the chickens. They're eating the microgreens that I just put in there and pulled up over there at the garden. They love greens. They're not attacking them like they would the cabbage leaves, but they'll have them cleaned up before nightfall. That big basket I put in with the roosters, and I put some in with these little fellers here. I've got a little rooster in there, and he latched a hold of me last night and drawed the blood, as little as he is. But I'm gonna get him sometime during the day. I'm gonna pick him up. I'm gonna put him on my lap and set underneath a shade tree, and just make him sit in my lap and pet him about all day, about an hour, and get him a little tamer. I'm not going to do like I did Big Red. Big Red wouldn't let me hold him at all, and finally he just got mean and started jumping me, and I didn't like that. These are the 7 little ones. These were the last ones I hatched out in the small incubator, and they're doing good. Knock on wood, on my raising chickens and buying them from the store, and raising them, hatching them out and raising them, I've never lost a chick. That's the honest truth. I have never lost a chick. A lot of people buy chickens and they'll have several of them die, but I look after mine when they're born every day. I pick them up and every once in a while look at their butts so that they don't have sticky butt and stuff like that. But this is my wife's little flower garden. She's got some pretty flowers here. She was hoping that one of these would be like these yellow ones right here. She had one that was called a dinner plate flower. It got as big as a dinner plate, and for some reason or another it didn't come up this year. And she's got these that are fixing to bloom now. I like these purple flowers. I think they're real pretty. I really think they're really pretty. I think them purple flowers are the prettiest ones that she's got, other than these over here. I forget what she called these. Now everybody probably knows what they are, but they're about 7, close to 8 foot high right now, and they are blooming, and they are beautiful. These tomato plants in my asparagus bed are from last year. Some of the seeds, I didn't get all the tomatoes picked, and some of the seeds fell out and come up this spring. And me and the wife have been eating asparagus. Boy, that asparagus has been good. It's slowing down now. It's about time for it to slow down. It's about time I quit cutting it and let it go back to seed again. In fact, I am that one over there. Yeah, it's time to let it go back to seed again. So I need to quit cutting it. And as much as I like it, I love asparagus. And I'm going to have to let it go back to seed again. So I'm going to turn this thing around again, and I'm going to let me go over here where I've got my, I didn't bring my remote with me, and we'll go back over here. The garden there is good and clean now. This one's clean. Taters are growing. I tell you what, I'm about as happy as a lone honeybee in a 40-acre clover field. But I do enjoy my gardens. I really do. I enjoy being able to show my garden. I really, it's a lot of work, but it is rewarding work. When I'm eating good canned green beans instead of store-bought ones, I'm a happy feller. When I'm eating pickled beets that my wife fixes, I'm a happy feller. When I'm eating corn out of the freezer, either cut off or on the cob, there again, I'm a happy feller. But I do like my fresh vegetables. Next time we come out, I'll take you down and show you my peach trees. Their peaches are getting good size this year. This will be the first year that I've allowed them to have peaches on them. They're 3 years old now. I didn't want to break them down. So every year I pinched the blossoms off, except for 2 or 3, for me to go underneath the tree and eat when I was mowing. And for some reason I didn't get none last year. They fell off a tree, and bugs got them before I did. But it's a beautiful day. It's going to be another hot day. I'm going to have to spend most of my day in the house. But I just wanted to come out and get this done this morning. And I'm going to take you down there and show you my daughter Tammy's garden. Tammy's my buddy. She helps me out a lot. If I don't feel good, she'll help me till my garden. She'll help me weed my garden. Most of the time I try to do it myself, whether I feel good or not. But Tammy's husband's got dementia. He had to go into a group home for some reasons we won't discuss. But we've got to get her beans. We've got to get her beans stuck. We're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to stick her beans tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to stick her beans tomorrow. And her corn didn't come up good. I think she plants it too deep. I tried to get her to use that little planter I got, but she can't keep the wheel on the ground, so I guess next year I'll help her to get that going. That's her potato patch. These are still some potatoes I raised last year. And we had plenty for my garden, plenty for hers. I took through some on the compost pile. She's got her squash over here on the right. It's doing real good. And she's planted about 5 or 6 sweet potatoes and hilled them up. And they're doing good. So Tammy's not a lazy girl. She does a lot of work in the garden. She comes out and she'll hoe it and till it and staked her tomatoes yesterday and planted some more peppers that I had some extra pepper plants left. So we'll probably set up a stand or go to the farmer's market this year and try to get rid of some stuff that way. I'll probably give the neighbors, I always give my neighbors some vegetables. I offered Danny a cabbage head yesterday, but he didn't want it, so he said he's not going to cook cabbage. His wife died, and I feel sorry for Danny. He was lost about the first year and didn't come out of the house much. And this year he's coming over and helping me, and we're doing things together. In fact, we're getting the stuff ready to build a chicken coop over there to put them other chickens in. My one coop's too small, so we're going to build another coop and put them in. over there, and I'm going to build a place in there for the roosters, and I'll keep them separated still with a wire out in the yard, and they'll be able to run, and the chickens will be able to run. But I better close this thing out, get ready to go in the house, and I sure am glad that you're tuning in today. And if you like my videos, subscribe, put the thumbs up. If you want to be notified, hit the notification bell, and when my video comes out, you'll be notified that it's out. But I thank you for coming and watching this, watching today. And as usual, may God bless you and yours. Amen.